New York City doesn't belong to the loud. It belongs to the patient. To the men who don't argue, don't threaten, don't explain. And for over 20 years one of those men was Victor Kane. Most people knew his name from magazines. Billionaire investor, real estate mogul, major donor to hospitals and schools. But in the darker corners of the city, his name was spoken carefully. Not with admiration, not with hate, with respect. Victor Kane didn't need bodyguards surrounding him. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't rush. Things simply moved when he entered a room. At 52, Victor had everything men chase: money, control, influence, and absolutely no one waiting for him at home. Every night, he returned to a penthouse overlooking Manhattan. Glass walls. Perfect silence. No photos. No laughter. No reminders of who he used to be. Just the city below him, and the ghosts above it. Victor Kane had built an empire. But somewhere along the way he forgot why. The gala ended the way all galas do. Fake smiles. Expensive perfume. Applause that meant nothing. Victor hated these events. He attended them because power requires visibility. As his driver pulled into a narrow Brooklyn alley behind the venue, Victor loosened his tie and stared out the window. That's when he saw movement. A small figure near the dumpsters. At first he ignored it. The city was full of people like that, invisible until they became inconvenient. But the car slowed, and Victor noticed the shaking hands. The boy couldn't have been more than 11. Thin jacket. Worn jeans. A sneaker held together with duct tape. The boy wasn't begging. He was trying to fix the shoe like it mattered. Then the boy whispered, almost like a prayer. "Mom, I'll get it tomorrow. I promise." Victor's chest tightened. That sentence reached into a place he thought was dead. Because once, long before the suits, before the money, Victor Kane had said the same thing. "Stop the car," he said quietly. The driver hesitated. Victor repeated himself. And for the first time that night, the city stopped for someone else. The boy froze when Victor stepped out. Not scared. Just tired. "What's your name?" Victor asked. The boy hesitated, then shrugged. "Eli." Victor offered him cash. Eli looked at it, then slowly pushed Victor's hand away. "I don't want money," the boy said. "I just need food." That was unexpected. Victor studied him. No rehearsed story. No manipulation. Just hunger. They went to a small diner nearby. Eli ate fast like someone afraid the plate might disappear. Victor didn't speak. He watched. Between bites Eli talked. About sleeping behind grocery stores. About counting police cars at night. About pretending not to feel cold. 6 months on the streets. His mother was gone. His father didn't want me, Eli said plainly. No anger. No tears. Just fact. Victor felt something twist inside his chest. This boy wasn't broken yet. The city just hadn't finished with him. Victor Kane wasn't always Victor Kane. He grew up in foster homes. One worse than the next. By 13 he learned not to trust adults. By 16 he learned how to fight. At 18 the streets adopted him. At 25 they feared him. Victor didn't climb his way to the top. He survived. Drugs. Construction scams. Real estate laundering. He never enjoyed the violence. But he understood it. And when the money went clean, the damage stayed dirty. Victor had buried his past under billions. But now, sitting across from Eli, it was digging its way back out. After dinner, Victor made an offer. "I'll help you," he said. "But you go to school. Every day." Eli didn't smile. Didn't celebrate. He looked Victor straight in the eyes and asked, "You gonna disappear too?" Victor didn't answer immediately. Because disappearing was what he did best. Instead he said, "Not this time." Eli nodded. No hugs. No thank you. Just trust, given carefully. That night, Victor arranged a small apartment. Clothes, books, and something he hadn't planned on. Oh, change doesn't go unnoticed. Victor started leaving meetings early. Ignoring calls. Visiting queens instead of boardrooms. The underworld noticed. Rivals whispered. Something's distracting him. Find it. Victor's men warned him. Softness gets people killed. Victor listened. Then replied coldly. No. Softness reminds you what matters. That answer scared them more than anger ever could. Because a man with nothing to lose is dangerous. But a man with something to protect? He's unstoppable. And someone decided to test that. Let's continue. The message was simple. No signature. No explanation. Just a photo. A blurry shot of Eli walking out of school. Victor stared at the phone longer than he should have. In his world, warnings came before consequences. Always. His men wanted to move fast. "Let us handle it," they said. Victor shook his head. No violence near the kid. That decision cost him sleep. That night, Victor sat alone in his penthouse, city lights stretching endlessly below him. For the first time in decades, money didn't feel like protection. It felt like bait. And somewhere in the dark machinery of the city, gears were already turning. It happened on a Tuesday. Ordinary days are the most dangerous. Victor was in a meeting when the call came. There was shouting, sirens, static. Then one sentence. "It's the boy." Victor didn't remember standing up. Didn't remember the drive. He only remembered the smell of smoke. The apartment building in Queens was chaos. Fire trucks, police tape, screaming neighbors. Eli was alive. Barely. Burns on his arm. Cuts on his face. As doctors worked, Victor stood frozen. Hands shaking. Suit stained with someone else's blood. A rival message burned into his mind. Choose. That night, Victor Kane finally understood the price of power. Eli slept under machines. Victor sat beside him for hours. No phone. No guards. Just guilt. He replayed every decision. Every warning ignored. Victor leaned close and whispered, "I should have protected you better." Eli didn't wake up. But Victor made a decision. Not as a billionaire. Not as a kingmaker. As a man who refused to lose another child to the streets. He stood up. And went to war not with guns. But with truth. Victor Kane disappeared. No meetings. No calls. No public appearances. Then the headlines exploded. Victor Kane sells entire real estate portfolio. Billions liquidated in weeks. People laughed. Midlife crisis. Then came the subpoenas. Victor walked into federal buildings without lawyers. He talked. Names. Accounts. Deals buried for decades. The city shook. Men who once feared Victor now feared prison. They called him a traitor. Victor didn't deny it. Because this time, he was choosing the right side. Victor lost everything. The penthouse. The cars. The power. But Eli recovered. Slowly. Painfully. Victor moved them out of New York. No more shadows. No more whispers. Just a small house. Trees. Silence. Victor cooked dinner. Helped with homework. Sat through school plays he didn't understand. He wasn't perfect. But he stayed. And for Eli, that meant everything. Time passed. Scars faded. Eli stood on a stage at 21. Valedictorian. Accepted into medical school. The crowd applauded. Eli scanned the room. Found Victor in the back. Older. Quieter. Proud. When asked who inspired him, Eli said, "A man who taught me that power isn't about owning the city. It's about not letting the city own you." Victor wiped his eyes. No cameras captured it. And that was okay. Because Victor Kane didn't need the world to see him anymore. He had already been redeemed.